allowed the two children. It's okay. Off your mic. It's okay. Off your mic.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we loud, Maiyegun don't come, my people make we shout, Maiyegun don't come, Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, Maiyegun don't come, Maiyegun diary Politico, Maiyegun don't come, this one not the off in mind, Maiyegun don't come, and in the touchlight every corner, Maiyegun don't come. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you ladder. Maiyegun don't come. My people make we shout. Maiyegun don't come. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses. Maiyegun don't come. Maiyegun diary Politico. Maiyegun don't come. This one not the off in mind. Maiyegun don't come. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud. Maiyegun don't come. My people make you shout. Maiyegun don't come. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses. Maiyegun don't come. Maiyegun diary Politico.
Hello there.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làwọn tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ara yìí.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. And this is Maiyegun live.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Bó bá ṣe eré, àní Maiyegun máa wí.
So I know it's been, it's been a while that we sort of dig into the action or activities of the Nigerian politicians. So tonight we are going to have enough time to dwell on this. So thank you for joining me. Share the broadcast. Invite your friends. Invite your not so friendly friends. I've got loads of stuff to share with you tonight.
Ani Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number
one. Thank you.
Ani Ẹ̀sùnràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú Ẹ̀sùnràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ani Ẹ̀sùnràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Maiyegun ti dé. I don't read social media anymore. They abuse the hell out of me.
So, good evening to you once again. Good afternoon to you, and then a good morning to you from wherever you are watching from. And this is Maiyegun live. Now, I don't know if many of you have seen this clip or heard about it. In the last few months, right, we have been awash. Well, the media has been awash with Tinubu's invalidity, Tinubu's health concern. Some of the things that people believe that are being leveraged upon in order to use him and for some selfish people to gain access to power, like they did with Bokwari. Now, they have done their best to hide all these, these sicknesses and all of that. But back in the days, in the early stage of this so long charade that they are on, or the journey, we caught Kolu with a wet patch and his bomb. And it was automatically, right, revealed that he probably peed himself. That never repeated itself. But for those who have voiced their concern, especially on Tinubu's, illness and his personal desperation for power at whose loss and gain, those who have voiced their concern in the past, they said, in Africa, it is not uncommon to see sick, very, very sick presidents still in charge of a country. Most of them try to hide their infirmity, right? Like their sicknesses. Others are unable to. If you begin to go to some African countries, you will see some sit-tight dictators who have serious health issues, but they still cling on to that power. But I don't think we've ever seen anyone or any leader in Africa that peed himself in public. The first one that gave everybody PTSD was that image of a Kolu with a wet patch. Some said he sat on a wet seat, and some said he peed himself. Wherever it was, a lot have actually come to the open concerning what the state of a mind, the physical state of Tinubu, his state of mind, even his mental state as well. All of these are, every now and then when we get a hint or a chance of accessing him, it's not hard to tell. But he's never repeated peeing himself or wetting his cloth in public again. But if he become your president, I don't think some of you are ready for something like this. Again, this is not in an attempt to, in a way, ridicule anybody's health issue. Let me explain something to you. One of the blackmail, or let me say one of the blackmailing, statement that they usually make is to try to blackmail you with, the fear of what if you are the one who is also sick? Do you think if you get older, you are not going to face some health challenges and all that stuff? But the difference is this, why you should never be blackmailed by anybody whenever you are talking about somebody who is sick. But those around him believe that he is mentally stable enough to lead a country that is already in ruins. So with that, nobody should blackmail you when it comes to health, okay? This is it. They will say, are you God? There are people who are very unwell and they still live longer life. That is not the reason why his health is becoming an issue. And why it should be to you, for all of you. Bokwari is a textbook definition of what a sick, vengeful leader of a country can be. The result of that is what you have in Nigeria today. Now, if you have a chance of being one ahead, nobody should blackmail you with anybody can be sick. If you are sick, the right thing to do is to go and take care of yourself. Do you understand that now? You don't start applying for the number one job of a country that you've already messed up. I mean, it reeks of selfishness, so to say. But nevertheless, you probably would have to learn how to live with something like this. When Kolu become your president, there's this clip of the president of South Sudan. You know something? He's also 71 years old. Kolu is 71 years old. Okay? Now, whatever it is that is suffering, yeah, which means he can no longer control his bladder. Something that somebody in that state, right, should at least go and take care of himself, but not in Africa, not where they are ready, to actually march on the, on the pool of blood of people to attain that power just for the sake of it. South Sudan have been fighting Sudan for years. This guy possibly was the leader of the pro-independent Sudan. Southern Sudan. So South Sudan eventually gained their independence, and this guy became the leader. Now, for years now, right, Southern Sudan has never known real peace, simply because of the supposed clans or the supposed regions that make up the entire new country, South Sudan. Now, he fought through all of that until they came to one peace deal where they said all this part of South Sudan should actually have their own president, their own vice president. And then they will be rotating the leadership among themselves for peace. So they've been killing themselves even after getting the independence. So this guy was part of it all through. So he's still the president. He's unwell. He's 71 years old. And in one of the public function that he's participating, they said it was actually the commissioning of a new road, a newly constructed road. And this happened. Didn't know. It's a medical condition. They have a name for it. I'm sorry, I can't remember the name. And I bet somebody is going to tell me the name in the comment, and I can tell you. So when you lose the control of your own bladder and all that, he felt the wetness, Abi, while he was there reciting the national anthem of their country. So for somebody like that, he's already sacrificed his youth, his life, fighting for the freedom of South Sudan. But health is no longer, on his side. He's old. But because of his likes all over, you have them in Nigeria too, they would rather die and receive what they call the state burial, or even duplicate their own children to take over. I mean, does it have to get to that for somebody to know that at that point, you should care more about yourself? Because there's no way. Other things being hidden behind the scene that they are not telling their people. So when you now see somebody in Nigeria, Kolu, the Bala Blue, Bulu Blah, Blue, and Bala Blue, all that. You can sense all this. Yeah, thank you very much. By the way, somebody just told me the name. Erok. It is called incontinence. The name of that sickness is called incontinence. It can happen to anyone. And according to what I read online, yeah, it can happen to anyone anytime. Do you get that now? It has nothing to do with age, but mostly it is common among the elderly between the ages of 65 and upward. Do you understand that now? Incontinence. Thank you very much for that. So we haven't seen Tinubu probably shown that again. But what about the trembling? What about the sluggish speech? What about the what do you call it? Senseless and mostly nonsense that he actually, say most of the time. Incoherence in his speech. And then to the point that they said, oh, he's actually speaking in the language of the gods. You see, all of these are obvious. So let me quickly give you one caveat so that you won't have to waste your anger on me yet. Whether you are Lagos Abobaku, Oshogbo Alimajiri, humbled slaves, obedient fool, sophisticated moron. Then we now have what this guy said. We used to have the Buharidins, Buharididins, Buharidinotus, and the rest of them. So they now said that we now have the Batidins, Batididins, Batidiots, like on and on like that, yeah. However, don't waste your anger on me, because no matter what I say, there is no likelihood, okay, that it is going to have any effect on your Kolu. I am just like this side conscience who says, would you pretend not to notice this? Would you turn back later in the future and begin to join the crusaders who are going to say, how did we get here? How? God, why? You are currently not campaigning for God. And me, mine is to show it to you, even though you know. I can show you as well the consequences of that choice, so to say. So Kolu is unwell. Everybody knows. But in Nigeria, where people fight for God and they live their own fight for God, here you get, when they see things, when they see white, if it is going to be much convenient, they would rather be politically correct and call it gray. And no matter what you say, they know it is white, but they will call it gray. It's not because they are stupid. It is because they are typical Nigerian. But that won't change it from white to gray. Okay? So, Kolu was in Kaduna, where, as usual, it was all about bala, blue. But it nearly caused a serious religious misunderstanding when Kolu got to Kaduna in that state of mind, where everybody knows that his state of mind is completely unstable. They know that somebody that is suffering from an early stage of dementia, of course, showing the symptoms, right? They continue to patch it. But hang on, it will shock you. Some people will say, there can never be anything worse than Bukwari. Hello, can you please hold my glass cup? That's exactly what Tinubu will say to you. I mean, you are about to get something that is even worse than Bukwari, and it is good for you to know. So don't act up, don't pretend, just know what you are dipping yourself into. So when the whole thing comes crashing, don't turn around and begin to look for imaginary enemies. This Maiyegun is enemy of progress. This Maiyegun is enemy of this. This Maiyegun is our this or that. So as then they talk director's cut. Before you come back and then begin to lament, When people like us will be saying that, okay, oh, for now, we are telling you, they play, oh, be playing. Kolu is on well, but it's your choice. You will see it, Maiyegun. God will shock you. You will be here when they were going to inaugurate. I said, oh, Deni, Ashenin. But again, don't bother wasting your anger. Just listen. And possibly you can understand the content of the poison you are about to swallow. And you won't point fingers later and say, now somebody caused this thing. And now somebody will know they pray for Nigeria well. Now somebody where they wish Nigeria. Nobody is wishing Nigeria evil than the criminals that you are wearing their t-shirts right now, wearing their face cap, wearing different paraphernalia that says you support them. So you should understand the content of the poison you are swallowing. I mean, I would want to know the content of the poison that I'm about to swallow. So let's start with Kolu. The last time he was in Ebonyi, if I'm not mistaken, either Ebonyi or Owerri, right? Or maybe Warri, it no matter. He was making communication about making a down payment for the roasted corn. We are going to start from there before we go to Kaduna, where it's shouted, God is great, you. Kolu was there, and he was like, Asalam, I think he said, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, or something like, or Assalamu alaikum, or something like greeting, Shah, right? Then the next thing, memory done lost. Kolu came back with, Inime, or for our Lord. He wanted to say our Lord Jesus Christ. For the same people who just said Allahu Akbar just now. But we're going to get to that. But it's not new. This is a fresher.
They spent more than $60 billion. They forget that transmission line is a super highway for generated electricity and power. They could not even make a down payment for a roasted corn for that electricity.
You got that? Now that is the man that is about to continue wherever Bokwari stops. Somebody said whenever they hear the statement, that statement or that particular thing from Kolu, that I am going to continue from where Bokwari stopped, they kind of feel like it's a direct threat to their life. It's like somebody saying to you, like, I am going to kill you. You know, that kind of thing. Like, I'm going to do this to you. Like a direct threat. When somebody says, I'm going to, or when they say, Bokwari has done so well that we have to continue. Continuity. Some told me, they said, Maiyegun, it is like a direct threat. And whenever they hear that, what comes to their mind is, how can they escape from what is coming? How can I escape from what is coming? Do you see why some people prefer to just go with Biafra, prefer to go with a sovereign Yoruba nation, while others prefer to just go with, let us just break the OT into pieces, everybody go, you know what I mean? Because there's so much coming that are indeed direct threats to you, even you supporting them, all of you following them. They are already direct threats to you. APC, Egbekegbe is, and then PDP, people destroying people. They are direct threat. They are already carrying out direct threat on many of you. But if time permits, I could make you understand. Sure you get. So Alaye got to Kaduna as usual. Welcome to Kaduna, Rankade. Say Jagaba, say Tinubu, say this and that. That's not all. At a point, I think he actually felt so good that he was walking, nobody is holding him, nobody was holding him, and he felt cool of himself. And he's, he wanted to, but old age, old body, no fee. I can imagine, sure you get, when you get older and you sometimes want to feel like you could want to try something, and then no, the body is not allowing, Call. I think, I don't know if I still have that, but don't worry. Okay. I think they are like, one another or something, right? That is not Kaduna. That was Minna. That's a different story. Okay. Let's go back to Kaduna. We call you. Yeah. I think I found that clip. Yeah, the clip where it was feeling cool of himself. Like, man, this is it. Welcome to Kaduna. Like that. It wasn't like that suave that much. It was like somebody that has wanted to, I don't know. I mean, take a look again, just for a sec. Did you see that? Like, I know I have I have elderly people on Maiyegun's diary, Politico. Some of them will be laughing right now or smiling like, Maiyegun, oh bad dear. Maiyegun, bad dear, like, all that stuff. Because they get what I'm saying. Like, you get to a point that I just want to feel young again. Like, okay, I want to walk faster, but nah. The body is not going to, you know what I mean? But that was called. That's not just the physical part of it, okay? It's not easy, like old man going from here to here. His age is questionable. His his medical history is questionable. There's so many things that are just so questionable about him. And nevertheless, he continued to where they pop him. Oh yeah, Baba, move. Anyway, he got to Kaduna. And it was time for him to talk to the people of Kaduna. He said a lot of things, possibly pay attention to what he's saying, and then pay attention to how he's saying them, and you probably could learn one or two things. The language of the gods when Kolu speaks.
APC! Get ready! APC! APC! Kaduna! Kaduna! Obasanjo! APC! May Allah bless you. I want to be living as a tiny regime. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of our Lord, the magnificent, the Father of all, the ruler, the greatest, God Almighty, that brought you here to acknowledge our party, to remain loyal to our party. You will never regret it. Inshallah, all those troublemakers, violent kidnappers, killers, all troublemakers who had crossed the security of Kaduna, I assure you, we will eliminate them. Everybody has done a good job. Go around Kaduna, you see how organized, how clean, and he has moved the internally generated revenue up. Now, a leader without a good successor is not a leader. He has given us a young, energetic, and honest boy, Obasanjo, to become the next governor of Kaduna State. Am I correct? You vote Obasanjo. You vote Obasanjo. Now let me now tell you again, every member of our party, no other party, Senator, APC, House of Rep, House of Assembly, Council Self. If you find him there, Chairman, APC, Governor, President, Jagaba, God bless you. God will turn this sunny day to a brighter day and bless you and your children. Give you its mercies. You will never regret today. Every one of you, go home with determination.
Oh yeah. Could you tell that he was struggling? Every word that came out of his mouth, they were like coming out like struggling to come out. I mean, sorry, to come out rather. I mean, I couldn't be the only person who saw that, Abby. You did see that, Abby. So you can tell then that this is what you are wishing on yourselves. And that's going to be the Nigeria you are going to have to stay in with your children and begin to turn to prayer warriors. So, from what we heard, he's not feeling well. The pressure is there, like, you know, flying from here to here, moving him, driving like 2-3 hours between state and the rest. At the end of the day, by the time they get him to the venue where they want him to be, he's already dazed. Not just tired as an older person, right? But he's already dazed from different medication that he has to like get to use. He has no time to actually rest and then let those medication work on him. He's on the way, on the move, on London. You know what I mean? And I think it was to be in Kaduna where El Rufaya also used him to massage his own personal ego before they now shipped him to Minna in Niger State. Now, dear Kasala Compost. was just like that, you know, like a robot, okay? Not even like a robot. Something like an effigy. You know what an effigy is, eh? You see that thing that they make like a scarecrow. Is that what it's called? Scarecrow or something? You know, that image that you make on your farm, that will appear like a human being. Somebody's, when you are looking at it from far, it will look like somebody is standing very far away, but there's no one there. It's just this scarecrow or something that is in the farm. Yeah. God bless you, Jare. Sacred Socrates. You get what I mean? That's exactly what Bokwari is, an effigy. Sure, you get an effigy, something that is just, it looks like human, but it's not. It doesn't walk, it doesn't talk, it doesn't function like human being. It can't think for itself. They just have to place it anywhere they want to place it. And other people will do the talking. As bad as Bokwari has been, Walai Talai is 100 times better than this Kolu. But again, now waiting I see at the talk. Now una go take una hand, do una self. Don't just think when you do yourselves. You can turn around and say, you see, God has shamed you, Maiyegun. No. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. The fact that I have an idea of what this individual stand for and what the end result is going to be, has helped me to prepare myself ahead of some of you who are already banking on these rogues to make a difference in your life. And I'm saying it ahead of time that even though you want to believe or you have already held on to one of them, it is ideal for you to know the content of the poison you are holding. As for me, you see, now white my hand be like, you see, I'm fufunene. You know, get mark except the one with the draw inside. I mean, on top arm. Meanwhile, talking about the characters popping up yet, and then the sick people trying to say they want to save the living, the near dead or the dead trying to save the living, like you have in Africa. I mean, you know about Mo. This man is or once was the richest man in Africa. I think he's Mo Ibrahim. His effort to promote democracy, to also promote good governance, and at the same time to also support or promote the responsible governance across Africa. I think he put together $1 million, was it $1 million? $1 million prize award for every leader in Africa that actually delivers on what they promised, okay? And they leave their country in peace enough that they can see the progress they have contributed in their time. They will get that money. And I think since the man started this award about 20 years ago, I think it's only been just 1 or 2 African presidents who have won this award, who have done what they said they would do all over Africa. 2 of them, maybe 1. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't have the real data, but there are not many. So he was talking about the rogues who continue to make a public office their own Osul office, while the citizens are left to bear the brunt of the failing, dying, old order. He's an old man, but he had this to say about 2 years ago.
Half of our people here are below 20 years old. Yes? Look at the average age of our presidents. It's about 63, 64 years old. We're the only continent in the world where we have presidents at 90 years old starting new terms. I mean, you guys are crazy or what? We've seen people in wheelchairs, you know, unable to raise hands to standing for elections. This is a joke. Yes, you are right to laugh because the whole world is laughing at us. You know, I always say, I mean, you look around you. You look, United States, an economy of $16 trillion. We, all of Africa, are less than $1 trillion. This is a 15, $16 trillion economy, right? The most important country in the world, like it or not. Obama, who's happened to be half African anyway, become president when he's 46, 47 years old. He's president. If Obama was in Kenya, what he will be doing now? He will be driving a bus maybe. Yeah? You look, really, and he's not the youngest president. Clinton was younger than him. Clinton became president at 46 years old. Kennedy was 40 years old, 40 odd subsequent years old when he became president. Why these big countries, much bigger than us, entrust their economies, their nuclear weapons, their oil resources to people who are in their 40s? And we only pick up people at 90 years old to lead us. To lead us where? To the grave?
That's the question. Where do you think these people are? Where do you think Bokwari, Tifnumbu, Atiku, who is even older than Tifnumbu? You know Atiku as well. Somehow, the focus is less on him. He himself know well. Atiku self know well. Sure you get. But his own is still manageable enough that he could hide it. Call you own. No, they know if he hide them. That's why they are fighting everybody. Fighting anyone who is asking questions. You are enemy. You are opposition. You are, you know what I mean? We'll deal with you. You are trying to embarrass us. You are trying to black, you know that stuff. They are finding fight everywhere just to make sure that Kolu is never held responsible. Even when he came to London, they were asking him questions. He was throwing the questions to the people who came with him. He's the one who wants to be president. To others are. So where do you think they are taking you? They are taking you to what? To where? To your grave. People who want see people who are sure of what they are offering you. They will speak themselves. They will speak clearly. Do you understand? This one not even talk anything with their motivational. Nothing to motivate you except the 1,000 they gave to people the way they scream. Hey, yeah, hey, yeah. In the name of our Lord Jesus, after Baba now, come on. You know what they said? They said there are Muslims in Kaduna, there are Christians in Kaduna. So what if Tinubu was trying to do is to greet the Muslim and to greet the Christian and join them together. I say, tinyitita, on top of how much where they are giving you. You are leading yourselves to the grave. So if you are happy to lead yourself to the grave, fine. Just don't try to make it look like you want to hurt my Maiyegun. I'm waiting for the day they will declare Tinubu the president. I am going to go and laugh at him. You better start crying for yourselves. Because majority of you are going to end up either trying to cross the Sahara Desert, like the people who have been trying under Bokwari, trying to cross the Sahara Desert, or put yourself on some dinghy boats all over Europe to escape from Nigeria. You have no idea. Some of you don't. Along. Or you just stay back. And just wait it out and see if you are going to survive them too. Maybe you survive Bokwari, you believe you can survive anything, Abi? It's up to you. Now, the clown, the court jester, and the rest of them, they were on their own, on the march. So they were caught somewhere in Anambra. Atiku, Dino Melaye was there. Can we just take a tour to Anambra, where Atiku or where Soludo hosted Atiku today? What did they say? What were the charts? There's something I picked out of that. Again, in the carriage of deceit, which these guys represent, dishonesty, misrepresentation, and then intentional manipulation. So they went there, they said, listen, Okowa is an Igbo man. Atiku is a Fulani man. Immediately after Atiku, Okowa as an Igbo man is the easiest access of the Igbo people to become president of Nigeria, even though I am not very old. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been reading from different political era since 1999, where when it comes to the Eastern Nigeria, almost everybody have a card they play. Just tell them, we will make you the next one. You are going to be the, that stuff, Abi? Well. They didn't leave that out today. First, the women were there to give Atiku and now a taste of Anambra hospitality, they will say.
Atiku for good governance, national articulated movement, coalition of Saudi advocates, Atiku solution, G40 patriotic youth alliance, USA partner in Atiku Okowa, Atiku nuclear, Atiku classic mobilization alliance, led by its director, Ajia Farida Umar, and the United Friends for Atiku, also represented here by Honorable Uche Chukwuka.
People shout plenty, but he made a stop first, and that was to see Soludo. I believe I have the right clip. It should be this one.
I said you can see. All right, fine. Wait, you are getting your one time.
So now let's go listen to them. What are the things they shared or said? The lies they have repeated, some of them that they will forget immediately they leave that same position, that same saying. People want them to be lied to anyway. I mean, just give us something before you go. And it seems that Atiku have something to say too. So let's go back in there, especially when Atiku had to address, tell them why he's in Anambra. So maybe we can also pick one or two things from that too. Dino will be the one, as usual, the Canary Dino is going to be the one to open the floor. Take a look.
Sir, the national chairman of our party said the governor of Anambra State is a returnee. So the day he's returning, we will sing, "Oh my home, oh my home." Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, let's listen to the golden voice of the reformer, of the unifier, of the amplifier, of the mobilizer, of the magnifier, Atiku Abubakar.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, Governor Charles Soludo, Your Excellencies, governors here present, our dear chairman, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Many people may be wondering, why would I pay a visit to an Abga governor in Anambra State? I just want to make it very, very clear, that my relationship with Governor Soludo and many other people as well from this part of the country is beyond partisan politics. Our relationship are born out of sense of patriotism and also a commitment to undertake reforms in our economy and also in our country. And these objectives are beyond party politics. I think there should be a consensus on how we move forward as far as the challenges of this country are concerned. So I want to say that Governor Charles Soludo is a partner in that respect, and therefore it is my singular privilege and honor that he's receiving me, in the government house today. And I think that is the kind of politics we should aim to achieve in this country. In spite of our party differences there should be some national core values that we should all agree to implement if we have the opportunity to do so. So Governor Soludo, on behalf of my entourage, I want to thank you very much indeed for going beyond party differences to accord us this opportunity to pay you the courtesy call. You didn't shut your gates against us. You welcome us very, very warmly and brotherly as well. And we want to assure you that we are all partners in our reform agenda as far as this country is concerned. So let me thank you very much indeed. You personally told me when we spoke yesterday, you were not in Anambra, and you had to find your way back to Anambra so that you can give us the opportunity to pay you this courtesy call. We really appreciate that, and we thank you very much, for that opportunity. So God.
Okay. So it was about thanking him. And then Soludo probably used the opportunity to also sell himself. And just like he wrote a scathing, criticism against the obedient and Obi and all that, if you give him a mic, he would have something to say too. Let's go back there. Where's Soludo? Grab the mic. This time is the one talking. Take a look.
I think, let me apologize to those who have just come in. If we knew that we were going to have this number, probably we would have moved into the next room, where you are going to have, for those of you who are standing, if you stand too much, maybe then move on to there. That's where we have got some water and so on to drink before you head to the stadium. I know you have quite a busy day. Your Excellency, the former Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and as has been said, of course we know, I want to say, and I even wrote something, you are one of the two front runners for the presidency of Nigeria. One of the two. And in the fullness of time, we're going to have a conversation. See, I'm in politics, but I'm not yet, I'm still struggling whether I've become a politician or not. I say it as it is. And we come to say, for the sake of this country, for the sake of Nigeria, let me, on behalf of the government and good people of Anambra, the light of the nation, welcome you to Anambra State. You're welcome. To our in-law, I will say, welcome home, because he is an in-law as well. People forget that. So welcome home. And I don't want to go into the history about us in government and then in politics, but I know that sometime 2010, even to early 2011, we went around this country together, all in search for a better Nigeria. Nigeria is one great country that, as far as I'm concerned, destined by God to be the largest, most prosperous, and most powerful black nation on earth. It's our God-given mission to make it great, to make it realize its fullest potentials. Party differences, whether you are in PDP or in, and by the way, of course, I hear the jokes, I hear from the national chairman of PDP. PDP used to be the only, literally the only one, but it has begot quite a number of number of branches. And some are now competing to take, like Apuga now being the third largest political party in Nigeria. Sometimes I think the prayer of the parents is that their children will become bigger and better than they are. Anyway, we'll talk about that. Welcome to Anambra. And as I say, the entourage that has come, our Anambra, the Amazons of Anambra with you, distinguished Senator Iyom, the Iyom and the Iyom, then High Chief Senator Obi, and of course Okosisi. If you go to AIT, you hear him. If you don't know the name, then turn on to AIT. And Iko Obosi too. I didn't know. When did you sneak in? You just sneaked in. And all my brothers from neighboring states, and of course, the vice presidential candidate of PDP, who is my neighbor on the other, across the river, and struggling to build Anambra, Onitsha, and Asaba to be like the twin, now with the second Niger bridge, to become like the twin cities of New York and New Jersey, and so on. And I'm glad you came with the governorship candidate. I wish you the very best of luck. I welcome all of you, eminent senators, former governors, and so on. Hi. And Senator Leal, and you guys are aging backwards. Let me welcome all of you.
Okay. It's boring, isn't it? Did you hear when Soludo said Atiku is one of the two front runners for president in Nigeria? That is a place where he took a dig at obedience. I've been all over him since he made that statement today. Even not be say a shock, but this is the reaction of some people like this Soludo every time when he get shine one jar dig. So Obi no be front runner. Obi no even be among the top two. With any Soludo, let's go back to Minna. Going back to Minna, where after the sluggish of Tinubu in Kaduna, they jacked him up again, and they dragged him down to Minna. This is what happened to Minna. When they got to Minna, he became so tired from what we heard, right? He became so tired that he nearly cancelled appearing in their stadium and all of that. So, to the point that the Minna campaign only lasted for 7 minutes. Out of the 7 minutes, Kolu spent just 3 minutes. And in one of the clips, I managed to get this one where he came out and, you know. That's the whole campaign. "90 seconds. The way they brought him on was the way they patched him out as well. And that's it. The whole campaign lasted for 7 minutes. So they moved him to other part of the town where he was to see the emir, he was to see the news campaign office and the rest of that. I have a clip of that in a way, and I think I should share that part with you as well. But I think we should go back to what do you call it? To Anambra, where Atiku and his gang, at this time, they are now in the stadium. If you don't mind, let's go back. We'll be going in between just to make it a little bit more kind of flexible. So let's start with Dino, Canary Dino, the usual.
Ladies and gentlemen, there are times in life that the truth must be spoken. The people of Anambra State, I want to assure you that with Atiku Abubakar, the issue of insecurity, the issue of marginalization, the issue of enhancing your businesses will all be over. If you believe Atiku will solve the problem in the southeast, in Anambra State, please clap your hands together for Atiku. Ladies and gentlemen, as I prepare to invite to the microphone the next president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the articulator, the magnifier, the result for all our problems. Clap your hands together as I invite Atiku Abubakar. Thank you. As we are waiting for the next president to come, we must hear the voice of our national chairman, the national chairman of PDP, Senator Dr.
Jawabi daga bakin dan shugaban jam'iyyar PDP Sanata Dr. Ayu kenan.
Okay, I think I should warn you, okay? Most of their campaigns are just like a clown show, by the way. You get what I mean? Clown show. But I just know that there are things they drop off in the process. When they drop them off, we pick them up, open them and realize that these are the things that they are not really telling people. Some of those that gives you the idea of what you are up to. Now, somehow, Dino will always be Dino, makes the whole thing up. Eventually, somebody else came on. Watch this. That was, that is with the Wike's former friend. Remember, the one that with the Wike gave money to, so that he would use his position and make sure that the delegate from that part of Nigeria will follow Wike Abi. He collected Wike's money, gave Wike assurances, slept in Wike's governor's house, presidential suit too. They bought, vehicles that they donated, donated money to a state victim of a terrorist attack, victims of a flooding and the rest. Last, he just went with his brother, Atiku. You know him.
Tarihi zama mai kansa irin lokacin da Shehu Shagari ya zama shugaban kasa, Ifeanyi ya zama mataimakin shi.
That is very competent, a man that is very prepared, a man that has the capacity, a man with the experience,
not only to redefine Nigeria, but from day one, hit the ground running, since he is the most prepared and most preferred candidate in this election to govern Nigeria. Along with him is our brother, my colleague and governor of Delta State, Dr. Ibrahim Okowa. Had multiple competencies as a lawyer and architect. And Dr. Okowa is a medical doctor and a seasoned administrator. He is your son, and you know it. As we speak today, by the grace of God, the most balanced ticket that is fair and reflective of the Nigerian dream is that of the PDP, Atiku Okowa. I appeal to the people of Anambra State, therefore, to come out in March, February 2023, to vote for Atiku Okowa and all of the candidates of the PDP. PDP, power of the people, God bless you.
A round of applause to Dr. Let us now for your next one. Ladies and gentlemen,
so that's Tambua. Anyway, Okowa is the one who presents himself as Igbo on the ticket of Atiku's from the northern, northern president to another northern president, and hopefully they can then unify Nigeria, which he can't really unify his own people, business people anyway. Sure you get now. So Okowa decided to toast the Igbos in Anambra, and guess what? He presented himself as an Igbo man. And if the Igbos want to lead Nigeria, Okowa, Atiku is their sure way of doing that. Same Zobo. We say they sell, but they still try. Market time.
thank you.
Yanzu za ku saurari jawabin ɗan takarar mataimakin shugaban ƙasa na Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, wato gwamnan jihar Delta.
I want to welcome every youth and women that are here today. Please, as a member of PDP, clap for yourselves.
Chama.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chineke na mama ekele, Chineke ma Chineke ma Ladies and gentlemen, this is the time to bring to the microphone the Director General of the campaign. Thank you.
Yanzu za ku saurari jawabin ɗan takarar mataimakin shugaban ƙasa na Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, wato gwamnan jihar Delta, wato
Can we clap for the Vice President?
wannan mataimakin ɗan takarar shugaban ƙasa kenan yake gaisawa da al'ummar jihar Anambra domin nuna jin daɗin sa yadda suka fito wansu da kwarkwata suke goya ba Atiku Abubakar baya.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, by February 2023, those who want to rig our election, those small parties, we are going to prove to them that Onsabu, Eyimba, Onsabu, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for good Okowa.
Yanzu za ku saurari jawabin gwamnan jihar Delta kuma mataimakin ɗan takarar shugaban ƙasar Najeriya, gwamnan Ibrahim Okowa. Yayin da yake yin jawabin shi da yaren Inyamuranci, shi dan South ne but amma dan Inyamurai na jihar Delta. Yana kirari ga al'umman Igbo da su je gundumomin kada ƙuri'unsu su yi ma jam'iyyar PDP campaign yakin neman zaɓe a kursoyin kada ƙuri'o'insu, kuma yana kiransu da su tabbatar cewa sun yi campaign domin ci gaban jam'iyyar PDP da Atiku Abubakar. Ya ce Atiku Abubakar shi ne ɗan takara da ya fi kowane ɗan takara cancanta. Yana gaya wa Inyamurai asalin Alhaji Atiku Abubakar shi ya kawo kasuwanci jihohin Inyamurai a lokacin da yake mataimakin shugaban ƙasar Najeriya. Yana yin jawabi cewa kan Atiku Abubakar yana ɗaya daga cikin 'yan takarkari waɗanda tun shekarar 1999.
So they shall do all they do, talk all they talk, and I bet you majority of them don't even remember what they said in Anambra. Or maybe some of you will remember that Dino Melaye turned to the choir master. They all seems to be always like, have you noticed? Even when Kolu was talking, in the name of our Lord, our God of the universe, God will bless you. God will bless your children. All of you, that they always kind of have a way, and people will be saying, amen. Imagine the worst of the worst of the worst criminals praying for you, and they say, amen, where they are using your own resources to bribe the poorest of the poorest to come out and massage their ego by forming the large crowd. Anyway, shall they say, call you one lule for me now? I ain't go lule, what's happen? If you see anything, but it eventually showed up somewhere else. And that was the campaign headquarters. Now, maybe this time around, same Minna, you can now try and access him here, okay? It's a long stretch. I think it's about 3 minutes, okay? I'll share that clip with you. It was there to commission his own party campaign secretariat. Now, I want you to see from the car, from the van to the place, something you didn't see, like in Kaduna. You didn't see that in Minna, but they said Olule, Oshegba. You know what I mean? Mind you, they dragged him here, and he's on record. Check it out.
Please give way. Tinubu is commissioning this by the people's office today. By the will of God, please. This office is for the commission of Tinubu. On your mandate we shall stand. On the mandate we shall stand. We shall stand. On your mandate we shall stand. On your mandate, on your mandate, Tinubu, on your mandate we shall stand. On your mandate we shall stand. On your mandate we shall stand. On your mandate.
Well, there's something there. There's actually something that actually cracks me up, right? Personally. And that is when Tinubu is trying to pretend to be a Muslim. I'm sorry, he's a Muslim, okay? But they don't see him as one. So he needs to act like one. But he doesn't even know what he wants to say. Even me, when we say don't take, we don't open the Quran or the anything at all, right? To read the Arabic, what have you. But Kalu that's supposed to be a practicing Muslim, then he wants to like impress them. So he remembers, I will be like, Rajim, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. That's it. Our Lord, in the name of our Inime of our Lord, is lost. He's completely lost. That should be somebody who is practicing. So I am wondering, like, why is he trying to impress them? Sure, you get, Why is he trying to impress them by trying to recite Bismillah this or that? Because everything he's trying to do with them is relying so much on the people of the northern Nigeria due to religion. Sure, you get. Religion will make many of them ignore all of these things you are seeing. That if Tinubu they shake, that if Tinubu can't really make any sentence, any complete sentence, that if Tinubu have no idea why he wants to be president. Do you understand that now? All of this will matter once religion jump into it. They will ask you, are you God? Are you Allah? Do you know what Allah can do? Allah, the God that spoke through a donkey. Donkey, that his master was beating him, and the donkey said, hey, my master, stop beating me. And the master said, oh my God, the donkey just talked. That must have been God that spoke through him. You know what I mean? Nobody say the master get mental problem. You know, sometimes people say, I heard voices. If I tell you that I'm hearing voices, you go say, Maiyegun, avoid market. Maiyegun, you need to get help. Maiyegun, I better get help. There are people who will tell me that, and they will be saying it from the point of health point of view, medical point of view. Maiyegun, yes, do you hear voices? Yes, I hear voices. What are the voices telling you? Sometimes they tell me to stand up, and start jumping up. Sometimes they tell me to stand up and go outside because somebody is going to meet me outside. This and that. Maiyegun, we renew. No, they go outside. They tell people say they hear God they speak to you. Maiyegun are mental. Go and get help. So if I can't come and say, Maiyegun Kilode, why are you laughing like this? I say, you understand. You see this phone, God actually talked to me through this phone. And whenever I want to talk to me, a face will appear at the back of my phone. And that face will be telling me what I should do. Say, it's a sign of, Maiyegun, see, I know what I'm saying. I know what, majority will be saying, I know what I'm saying, Maiyegun. But if I come out and I say, and I begin to give you some level of passage and all of that, and people will say, hey, Eli, holy, I knew it. I knew it. That Maiyegun, there is a sign. There's an anointing on him. He didn't see it. He's been avoiding it. When I watched his last program, when he started talking about what the spirits were telling him, I knew it. Now me and you, they run mental asylum together. Here you get. If people know who tell me, now all of us go run enter market together. You go think in our spirit they talk. Now mental problem. Now you get. So when religion goes into it, nothing makes sense anymore. Are you God? My friend, even though you don't believe, don't talk like that. God is saying, I know mental. Some of you don't know that. Some of those who are prophesying to you, they get shoko. If you begin to review what they are saying, you realize this is no match. I'm sure say this person don't mad. He don't mad. No, they say maybe he don't. If you don't, sure you get. And that's exactly what if Tinubu the card Tinubu is playing. When religion enter it, nothing makes sense anymore. Because according to them, let God handle it. Or the politician know all of that. But come look at Kolu. Is it convincing? Do you feel convinced as a Muslim? You as a Muslim, are you convinced that Kolu couldn't even recite any passage in that same chapter that can be like a prayer, you know? So like Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin, Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim, Alhamdulillah, you know? So you read things like that. I'm so sorry that I'm talking too fast that even I'm so shy. But I'm just saying, if I'm trying to impress you, I will go and recite my Fatiha proper. I will recite every other surah that I should recite, and I will master them because, I mean, come on, if I'm a practicing Muslim, that shouldn't be hard, should it? But Kolu want to impress. If they wish, but the thing no just come, you know what I mean? You know, come. But he has to say something that makes them feel like it no matter. God can change him. God is a miraculous worker. He can touch his brain and make his brain the brain of a 24-year-old. That's how stupid people can be when religion gets into any conversation. They will tell you God can reduce the brain of a demented brain of a 71-year-old man that couldn't make any sentence. God can touch that brain and he can begin to think like a 17-year-old person and he will be so sharp and smart. That's what religion does to them. That's why I call you. is trying to impress everybody. Bismillah, I will be like, I will be like, I will be true. You will be say you are so fake that you have to go on and do Muslim, even though common sense will tell you, this is a catalyst for disaster. But they don't care. They won't win, even if they have to teach him how to recite Tabati Ada, he will say he is praying for them, and he will read Tabati Ada, Abila, Abi Wataba. And people will say, Baba, you the cause us. So he say, okay, in the name of our Lord, amen. Religion. I know they get deceived by all of that, so that's what I'm saying, So don't take offense. So Kolu would rather play that because it works well. But there's something you should not forget as well. Even in this whole logjam where everything don't knock. You see that comedian, that guy has been in the House of Representatives for the past 23 years, I believe. If not to 23, he should be spending about 19 years now. His name is Kazaure Gudaji. Because he's a clown, but he still get to return. They keep sending him back. The guy just came out and he said, your stamp duty, all of this money that they have been deducting from your bank, from your saving, some of you are not dead, but your account is, they said your account is dormant. All the money, how they are going to rake this, rake that. Last, we be saying Nigeria come broke, indebted. Kazaure said he's discovered 89 trillion, almost 89 trillion of Nigeria money, overseen by Emefiole. Now, I don't want to be the one that will be sounding stupid now, okay? Because Kazaure, due to his own membership of National House of Representatives Committee on Appropriation have been a revenue. Anyway, he will explain it to you by himself. Don't mind the language or what have you, okay? Just try and comprehend. I'll come back and tell you what he's trying to say. He said 89 trillion naira when Nigeria don't enter BC. The indebtedness of over $100 billion, which in service over, how much again be that? So maybe 17 trillion be that. Have been okay. Nigeria debt crossing over 40 trillion. So if somebody gets 9 trillion somewhere, Kazaure said they discovered it and they have done everything to bury it. I think I should let you hear about it before we say more on it. APC, they came, like they said in the Bible, they said the devil will come like a thief in the night. And when the devil comes, or like when the thieves come in the night, they come to do three things: to steal, to plunder, and to kill. APC, Egbekegbe came into power in Nigeria to do exactly the three things: to steal, to plunder, and to kill. But there is one extra they added: to divide Nigeria, which is the job I believe they are doing well. Nigerians are poorer, and the future is bleak, and these guys are not slowing down. Then somebody said he found something, even though it won't really pick you, or at least you should know about it. Kazaure, tell us what you hear.
Mr. President, when I raised an alarm that this man will not be reappointed because I have some document that I take to the president directly of almost 800 million pounds. We get the document through one deputy civilian governor in a secret way. I take the document to the president to investigate that money. How that money came from HSBC Bank. President said he will investigate. But they go and tell the president lie. They convince the president. You know, Mr. President is one man. Whenever you come with sin, he will ask you, are you talking between you and your God? If you swear to Allah, he will agree with you. So, President appoint this man because the people, some people around the president are brainwashing the president, telling him what is not true. President will not go out and see it with his eye. He rely on paper. So they wrote, whatever they wrote to president, he rely on it. He will ask them, between you and your God, is that true? When you say you are true,
he will sign and give you to go for progress. So President, when I inform him about this issue of this money and these charges, he's disappointed with the CBN government. That is why he created the committee. He gave me power to remove the CBN government. He gave me power to investigate, to remove him, to investigate him and detain him. President give me that power. That is why I assure President is not aware of everything. President give me power, give this committee power to remove CBN government, to remove CBN, give this committee power to remove CBN government, investigate him and detain him, to make sure all the allegations came out and this money recovered. So Mr. President is not aware of all, even when he reappoint him just based on the paper, because he don't know what is going. He rely on paper. He's a good man with a good heart, and he consider the people that brought that paper, they swear to Allah, this man would work. That is why President appointed him. But I am assure you, President give this committee power. President, this give committee power to remove the CBN governor, to investigate him, and to recover all those money to the federal government account. That very night, Lagos State Governor went to the President, asked the President, how you give Honorable Gudaji Kazaure committees investigation of stamp duty and stuff. President said he's not aware. He didn't stop us. And he called DGSS and directed DG to continue the investigation. Let the committee go and continue their work. So, based on that, we invited the CBN governor again and the deputy governors with the letterhead of the DSS. CBN governor come to the DSS in our office in DSS. We keep him for 4 hours. We are about to detain him. He starts asking, am I under detention? Am I detained? Am I detained? I have a problem. I want to take him. I have my medicine in the house. He starts panicking. Later on, they say, let us release him on administrative bail, so that any document we need, he can bring. We released the CBN governor on administrative bail. He went. We invited all the deputy governors, GMs, which now they are, even day before yesterday, they are in the cases. We are still investigating. The case is ongoing. But since the inauguration of this committee, we didn't release it to media. We didn't inform Nigerians. We didn't inform anybody. But now it reaches a situation whereby we have to tell Nigerians what is going. Because we are borrowing government money. This 89 trillion, why, Mr. President, I respect Mr. President, and I want Nigerian people to forgive and pray for the President, because when the President sees 89 trillion, he is happy and approve this committee. He said, thank God, we will liquidate all the national and the international debt. We will implement our budget, and we keep money for the next government to come. And we will add our foreign reserve. Then we will import dollar. Instead of paying subsidy in petroleum, we paid subsidy on dollar. We sell it below 200 naira. So everything before.
Somebody said he's lost. Now, the kind weary that are in charge of Nigeria be that. You see the inconsistencies here and there, where he kept telling you, the president. But one thing I picked from everything he has said is that the president has given him the power to arrest Emefiole. That's the only thing I picked from the whole thing. The rest is just to show you the type of people who are making laws for Nigeria. Sure, you understand? The kind of mindset they have. He just said now, when he told Buhari that there is 89 trillion, that the Emefiole is hiding somewhere in central bank, Buhari said he should arrest him. You know what you are going to do, Gudaji? Arrest him, collect the money so that we can pay all our debts and we can start importing dollar. When we import the dollar, because we import, we pay subsidy on it, like petrol, we can begin to sell dollar for below 200. Very, very, very reasonable, intelligent. How did you come with this idea? Very wonderful. And he's bold enough to face the media. I didn't show you that video because I wanted you to see that there is 189 trillion somewhere. I mean, he first said 800 million pounds. That was the moment he lost me. But when he said, Buhari said he can arrest Emefiole, I said, finally, Gudaji, do it. Don't get confused, okay? Listen to that part again.
Mr. President, when I raised an alarm that this man will not be reappointed because I have some document that I take to the president directly of almost 800 million pounds. We get the document through one deputy civilian governor in a secret way. I take the document to the president to investigate that money. How that money came from HSBC Bank, President said he will investigate. But they go and tell the president lie. They convince the president. You know, Mr. President is one man. Whenever you come with sin, he will ask you, are you talking between you and your God? If you swear to Allah, he will agree.
You get that? For those of you who didn't know how to ask Bokwari for something, if you just go to him, just swear by Allah, he will trust you. That's what he said. And he went there and he said, there is 800 million pounds. I'm sorry if I'm confusing you anyway, but let's say 800 billion. 800 billion pounds is a lot, too. And now where they lead weary. Now, when you begin to say, me, I'm not mad, though, you are the one that is mad. Then you probably have to just go for the brain check and you realize that many of you are being led by weary because, and you are comfortable with this because some of you get your own shoko, coin that Nigeria has managed to implant in your head. If you no go for checkup, you know if you know. Now, one of them be lawmaker, so. Now, the people where they decide your future be that. 800 billion, this and that. Though, the issue of stamp duty is so corrupt that, Emefiole, like many other things, is dipped his hand in, yeah? Emefiole should be waiting in line right now among those that are going to be hanged after they have been convicted for the crime against you, millions of you. You don't know, the devil where they tell you, say, you go to stone. Now, they print money where you they spend. Emefiole. They're supposed to don't hang, like, if it was China, Emefiole will be waiting, he will be waiting the day for the death sentence in it. But unfortunately, I said something about religion earlier, Unfortunately, in Nigeria, you can loot, you can steal, you can even kill. If you embrace Allah or you embrace Jesus or all of you that you can just pretend to also belong to, there are people who are going to say, now God go forgive, now God go judge. We are not God. Let God judge. Meanwhile, it is their way of saying, don't worry about what you've done, okay? You are one of us now, Abi. Are you a Christian now? Yeah, I'm a Christian, but don't worry. Jesus is the one that is going to, it's not, forgiveness is of God. So ours is to make sure that you are a brother and you are now ready, just pretend. And politicians can pretend. They can transform to anything, anytime. Here you get. So they throw the religious into it and they will lose every sense that you can even think of. I was, before I came on tonight, I was reading a news break, or a breaking news, where they say Sharia courts have sentenced one cleric to death by hanging. I was like, and Emefiele itself, like me, like you, like every one of us, Emefiele is just going to pick up the phone and he's going to read the news and he's going to shock you and say, here you get. I mean, where religion says, if you steal, you have committed a Sharia, they should cut off your hand. By the time they begin to cut off every part of Emefiele, you no go get hand, you no go get leg. You probably won't get any lip as well to pick money with what is done. But religion is only probably for the poor. Religion is for the powerless. And that is what has sustained religion for so many times, for the political class that have been using religion to subdue the people and keep them under their claws like that. Here you get. They said the guy insulted Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In Nigeria, in Kano, they started trial. The guy is to trial. They convict him today. Say me they go hang him for insulting. He get 30 days to 30 days to appeal. And that's the kind of Nigeria you have. Here you get now. So people like Emefiele and gang who have done so much and terrible damages to everything that actually touches you, in a way, he had the audacity to even take your central bank money, and he started flaunting and laundering the money everywhere. He was able to go and gather buses, vehicles, put up his post. He wanted to be president. The madman didn't deny. He got to a point, he said, he has the right to run for any office. The central bank governor running for president of what kind of finally? Now Emefiele showed us that everything you have right now is just is fake. They are just like the replica of what they actually make you think you have. A Nigeria full of lies. It's not going to last. Look at Emefiele. He wanted to be president. Somebody is telling us that Bokwari gave him the power to arrest him. You think I won't listen to such person? Even 800 billion, see, no, we'll leave all of that one. Ask Emefiele, where is your stamp duty money and how much have you realized? Although when they realize the money, they share them. That is why when you see people like this, they are the reflection. Nigerians may be speaking grammar. Oh, I love Nigerians. They are so educated, so exposed, very, very talented. They are what this or all those things where they tell you about Niger. They are the personality that people built personally, just to represent them in their own way, to show you that yes, we came from a place that is pretty much like hell on earth. We want to see something good. We want to pretend, but nevertheless, we just can't. We can't pretend for too long. Well, this is me. Okay? Even though I'm from there, I could be different. So many of these personality builds that many of you are saying, Nigerians, no, they do yourself. Nah, jobbing. When you see this guy that is a lawmaker in Nigeria, think about those who made him lawmaker, who may actually make him their lawmaker. And for 23 years, he's been representing them. And this is who he is, inconsistent, oh man. But he's also like an entertainer, just like Kolu. Sorry if you have to listen to this again. Maybe if you listen to something once, twice, it may make sense to you. Apart from you laughing, maybe you can make a sense of this again. Just listen. Gudaji talking about money stolen by Emefiele, then telling us that Bokwari has given him power to arrest Emefiele. Even Bokwari no get power to arrest Emefiele. You know their law. You don't even get power to sack him. Do you know that? It can only force him to resign and go quietly. Here you get. Or you see this one guy, this illiterate, so to say. A typical example, textbook definition of what Nigeria or picture. Actually, some of them, they are just a little bit better than this guy because they can speak English. They can write, they can pretend to be this or that. Or this one, na raw, confirmer, Sharia, Islamic Northern Nigeria. And with Allah, every other thing about the law is secondary. But think about this guy and think about millions of people who have produced these guys, the likes of this guy across Nigeria, deciding what your future will be. A lawmaker is not an American, he's from Kazaure, Gudaji.
Mr. President, when I raised an alarm that this man will not be appointed because I have some document that I take to the president directly of almost 800 million pounds. We get the document through one deputy civilian governor in a secret way. I take the document to the president to investigate that money. How that money came from HSBC Bank. President said he will investigate. But they go and tell the president lie. They convince the president. You know, Mr. President is one man. Whenever you come with sin, he will ask you, are you talking between you and your God? If you swear to Allah, he will agree with you. So, President appoint this man because the people, some people around the president are brainwashing the president, telling him what is not true. President will not go out and see it with his eye. He rely on paper. Says they wrote, whatever they wrote to president, he rely on it. He will ask them, between you and your God, is that true? When you say you are true, he will sign and give you to go for progress. So president, when I inform him about this issue of this money and these charges, he's disappointed with the civilian government. That is why he created the committee. He gave me power to remove the civilian government. He gave me power to investigate, to remove him, to investigate him and detain him.
That's it. So if you can do that, even me, I will be happy on your behalf. You have no idea what Nigeria economy is actually cooking for you. You will be reading about Nigeria is gaining, inflation is coming down. No, now you go know where and touch you. It is like the old, the olden days when we'll be reading about billions, millions, billions, billions. Road construction from Lagos Ibadan Expressway awarded 180 billion. Now billion you dey hear. Road you no see. Project you no see. Share you get now. So if Gudaji will arrest Emefiole, he may actually be arresting the future ruin and destruction that Emefiole and gang, they have already planned and then perfected for you. Make all you come perfect and well. But you know, Obasanjo, like other people in Africa, he will tell you, this country cannot break. I took bullets. I bled for Nigeria. About all of those things, is it just for all of us to come and suffer and die miserably in a country that is only owned by you gatekeepers? That's my own question. If I see Obasanjo 101, Baba, I'll say, Baba Obasanjo, see, Baba, you every time when you talk, you would say, you call it, they shoot you, and you bled, and you did this, for the Baba. When you were taking all those bullets and the rest, and you are sharing Nigeria among yourselves, did you share them just because generation like ours will come to this world and face the shege that you call future when you were taking the bullet for Nigeria? Because I don't understand this. I take bullet. I bled. I broke my leg. Civil war. I don't understand. Did you do all of that just for all of us to come back to come to this world and see the shege where our parents no even see half? The future. So OBJ was somewhere recently and he had this to say.
What I believe and what I believe that Chief Ayo Adebando believed It's not ethnic. It's not sectional. It's not religious. It is Nigerian and Nigerian. When I go out and people say, we thank you, I say, what are you thanking me for? And I tell them, please stop thanking me. Why should you be thanking me? I believe in equity. I believe in justice. I believe in one Nigeria. I have shed my blood for this country. I have gone to prison for this country. So what are you going to frighten me or threaten me with? The only thing that my senior brother hasn't done is that he hasn't shed his blood. He has gone to prison. We will leave that at that. No. The blood where I shed for walk from the world. You go walk from. I will show you where it's sharpener. Nearly touched my. Now, but please, the problem we have in our front now and in our house.
If you meet Bokwari, he will tell you he bled for Nigeria, he fought for Nigeria. When you meet Babangida, he will tell you, I fought for Nigeria. Now, politicians are also saying, I fought for Nigeria. Even Kolu is now claiming he built Lagos. He made, in the past, Lagos was full of darkness and no form until Kolu came. And he commanded the bridges, and they appeared. He commanded the buildings, they appeared. He commanded this, and they appeared. After 6 days, on the 7th day, Kolu rested. I mean, this is it. Ask them. Nigeria is the poverty capital of the world today. It is the second most terrorized country in the entire Africa today. It is also considered as one of the most mismanaged country on earth. All of this, but some people will tell you, I bled for Nigeria. I fought for Nigeria. I defended Nigeria. I fought for the poor. I have been fighting for the poor all my life. You are fighting for the poor all your life, but more people are becoming poorer and poorer. You are becoming richer and richer. But you continue to come back and say, I've been fighting for the poor people. You get what I mean now? It's all bobo. The military will tell you, if not because of us, this Nigeria would don't go banana. Who told you? You have been the ones who have been murdering Nigerians to keep your mirage unity together, your fake unity. So you have to kill to prove the unity or to warn people of it. I bled for Nigeria. I said, you remember when I said something about the likes of Obank, Paro and Co. I said, when they want to say something, they will say they fight for civil war. I said, I beg, has there any time been when all these rogues, who are now old, by the way, right? Has there been any time that they could probably have a self-reflective time? Like, have a self-reflection. I just sit down and be like, let me just reflect over all the decisions and actions I've taken in my life. And then they ask themselves, I'll be like, Omo, why did we keep the Biafrans in Nigeria? Why did we keep them to why did we force them to remain in Nigeria? Is it because they don't want them to separate from the Fusho Chege that they were planning then? These guys were young, Babangida, Obank, Paro, and the rest, they were young, They were in their 30s, 20s when they gained the national prominence. What did they do? The future they were building then, now that future, me and you, they live so every time when they want to, they will tell you, say, I took bullet, I took this, Baba, the bullet where you take, is it just because to keep us here, punish us from generation to generation until you die? These are the questions they don't like you to ask. They say, don't ask that question. No, they ask that kind of question. Respect the elders. Abi respect the elders. Well, Oveki respect the elders. Go. go for a Judan when you go plan like that, eh? The elders have to respect themselves by being honest and sincere too. So whatever future Obasanjo saw 40 years ago, 50 years ago, I don't think it's this future. Look at all of us today. So now they still want to be part of the future that they are never going to feature in. Abi, you think Obasanjo will be around for another 40 years? Abi na Bokwari, Abi na Tifnumbu. But they are still interested. They want to be part of that future so that they can tell you about 40 years ago, when many of us, they never born us. These guys were young. They were planning our future then. Look at the future now. We don't stay here now. Now they are still here to give you an idea because they bled for. Live story, oh. I get what where they ginger most of you today. It was in Kogi 2 days ago. Obi. And from there, I'm going to close it before we call it a night on my part. And then I'm going to open the line for those who might want to call in. Just to balance it up. Here is what he had to say in Kogi.
My good people of Kogi State, please listen to us. I know today, good people of Kogi State, we are here today in Kogi, in Lokoja, to be able to tell you, we didn't come here to buy your vote. We came here to tell you how we want to save Nigeria from collapsing. Today in Kogi State, you cannot travel freely within the state or travel from here to Abuja or to anywhere without fear. So, what we are going to do, number one job is to secure Nigeria. We want to make Nigeria safe. We want to be able to unite.
And the rest of every other, Obi? Your people are relying on something that are already in the gutters. And it is something that is possibly unimaginable for some, but it's unsurprising for many. Go and get your PVC. If you don't get them, check the nearest drainage or gutter on your street. Yours might be inside, like these other people. In a messed up Nigeria. The giant of Africa. Take a look. Like I said, if you can't get your PVC, I will advise you, check the nearest drainage or gutter in your street. You might see it there.
Okowa níbi tí ọdún ṣe demolish Ọlọ́run wá ṣe àti rí ọ̀wọ́n tó fẹ́ kí bàbá wa Tinubu kó wọlé voters card tó ń ṣe òun eléyìí inú sọ́kàwé lọ́rọ̀ tọ́jú ẹ̀ sí ẹ wo bó ṣe pọ̀ òun náà kó jáde yìí o ó pọ̀ o
Make I die before.
Ẹ wo bá yóò kọjá inú sọ́kàwé o. Ẹ bá yóò kọjá inú sọ́kàwé o.
Dig that place. Maybe something did it.
Oh, ẹ wo ṣe ti bá yóò kọjá de. Olóde nílé o. Olóde nílé o. Oya, check away. It still remain.
Don't come out. Check it.
Ẹ̀rí èmi tó tọ́jú ẹ̀ sí ní ẹ̀ tó bá dọjọ́ ìbò. Àwa máa ṣe kí ni wọ́n máa lọ kó jáde ẹ wo. Ó pọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ o, sọ́kàwé lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ sí o. Sọ́kàwé kò sí gbẹ̀ǹbẹ̀ wọ́n dẹ̀ ló lé o. Ó yá ká dá papò ọ̀.
Raise her up now.
Ẹ wo.
I said that now.
Kí ló kọ́ ìgbà náà? Okafọ́ kí ló kọ̀ bíbá ìgangan náà orúkọ Louis. Alárọ̀mí alé.
Carry that flag.
Oh yeah, now carry that thing up.
Lé alárọ̀mí alé lé Okafọ́. Ibẹ̀ la wà yo ẹ wo ṣe kò jáde ẹ wo. Bọ́yẹ̀ kò jáde nìyí o. Ó sì pọ̀ ń bẹ́ o. Ìkan tó ń ṣe nìyí o, ọ̀wọ́n Yíbò ni o.
Check here.
Tẹ́ bá wo gbogbo orúkọ kìíní, a ti fà wọ́n lé ọlọ́pàá.
That's the reason why I share that. Tinubu supporters, they found, according to the video, I'm following the video here, they said they found voters' card in a soakaway. That one is soakaway. Yours will be inside the gutters next to your house and the rest. So to them, if you find INEC voters' card inside the gutters, depends on where you're finding it, okay? If you find the INEC voters' card in the eastern part of Nigeria, they are the people who don't want Igbos to be president. Sure you get. If you find them in Yoruba land, like Kolu people, then possibly they are those who don't want Kolu to be president. But the big question is, waiting INEC voters card in bulk, what is it doing in the hands of individuals? That question will only be coming from those who are naive in Nigeria. As you are doing your voters registration, they are packing so many of them, the INEC officials, they are packing some of them and giving them to different parties, political parties, who pay them more. So when you go there and they say they don't see your voters card, what they do is that they've given them to the people who need them, who can actually use them. I don't know how they do that anyway, because, yeah, they've got something they call beaver, something to verify card. No be Nigeria. It is a messed up place. So lunatics will get that numbers of cards. So when election cycle is over, they just bin them or bury them. They are not useful again. Because next year, even though they are supposed to be permanent voters card, they are going to do another one in 4 years, so that they can filter in all of the fictitious names that they are going to bring the cards out all about. You see why people don't believe in that system? Well, I don't. And I pity so many of you who kind of put your faith in this system, and then you feel bad when you get burnt. That's for you, not for me. I will just take a quick break. I'll take 1 or 2 calls, okay? Maybe I can share with you some updates, and maybe you can share with me some of what you really want to say for a while. But as we take our break, close your eyes. Close your eyes. Let us pray. In the name of the Father, of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. My sister, I beg, pray for us.
Una know wetin dey annoy me pass for this election matter. Those of you now wey be say una dey abroad. Una dey abroad na comot for this country because una dey find good life for una self and una children. I make una run comot because this country e not good, e not let una stay. Na make una run comot. But you can't comot now dey abroad. You dey from there they campaign for PDP and APC. We kill this country. We make this country dey like this so. We not make you feel stay. You still they campaign for them. Now Ogun go kill you. Now Ogun, there is no two ways about it. Ogun go do collaboration with Thunder, fire you. The way you take go empty-handed, now that empty-handed, now you take come back. You they enjoy the good things of life, oh. You see, government provide good road for them. Security you get. What anything way that you they pay for, you they receive and they receive light, good road, good social amenities. But you they say make we see the vote for this PDP and APC for here where you live, where you because of a wrong. It not go better for you. Anything where you lay your hand upon for that side, it not go move forward. Not because now come on. Now wait till you bring upon yourself. Now they receive so. Because I can you imagine how this country don't die rich? The thing can't pay you. You can't run. You don't even consider people where it still run no way not female can reach there. All of them back for Libya road. Today now that they kidnap who they kidnap. They send videos to their loved ones for yeah. May that they bring out some money, else they'll buy their pikin. You can't still get mad because you don't cross, you don't dare obodo ibo. Anyhow, we work out for you, you not concern you again. You still the campaign, you still you get mad on your useless phone. On your useless phone, we go put you for trouble. Say you they campaign for all these old men we kill this country. You not go better for you. Anything where you lay your hand upon for good, you not go prosper. You will never see light in your life. The way you say they pray for darkness for this country, light go run from you. Every good things of life go run for you. It go run for you and your family and your children. And your children. Because if they wish other children bad luck, how your children go take better, I not go better for them. Now wait till you bring upon yourself, now they receive so this early morning. Now I say me I can't tell you now where they vote, they say una want the same government and leaders where kill this country, where no one made this country better. In fact, today now youths now they don't get safe for this country. You see they agitate for them, not go better for you.
Some people think say you they do juju.
If this is a joke, they will never go free. Them they bone face oh yeah, that good that they bone face for. Is the body yeah, so wicked they walk oh. You know, as I'm watching you on television now, they paint them. That is all. And they sweet when they see me appear like this, they paint them. And I promise them, I'm here to bury them. I see they paint them, they sweet us. I see they paint us, they pay. When you say, I see they paint them, they sweet us. I see they sweet us, they pay.
Anyway, thank you so much once again for spending your evening with me. I really wished I could take some calls tonight, but I don't think I'll be able to. I'm having similar problem again. Connection between the phone, WhatsApp, the call, the Bluetooth, and the rest of the other device here that could actually blend them in as other audio. So I'm having that issue. So which means that we would put a postponement on the phone call part of this conversation. But I promise you one thing, okay? There will be, in a very short while, we're going to have the People's Parliament on Maiyegun's diary Politico. We're going to have the English, we're going to have the Yoruba, and there's going to be like a 2 People's Parliament that will come up before the end of this year. You can participate in any of them as well. And yes, I will make sure that I fix that phone call part next time. I really wanted to speak to a few people tonight, a few calls and all of that as usual, but it seems that it's not going to happen. So I have been told that apart from us providing 5 kg rice for elderly people in 8 states in Yoruba land, that we're going to provide that. We have also received a bit of a support that says we are going to take delivery of noodles, spaghetti, spags, and other things that we could add to that same bag, so we can make it a bit of, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I guess, excuse me, like a grocery shopping. Sure you get. So that's what we are planning. So if you are, and I spoke, I spoke with Princess this afternoon, and she is so much into this. She was suggesting that we should possibly package chicken. You know, this chicken, not frozen, no, correct chicken, where they never freeze, because she has a farm anyway. So, and that's what she does, supplying other, businesses across Lagos and across Yoruba land, as I've been told. However, she's willing to give us a deal where we could add chicken, but it was like, Maiyegun, chicken is going to be like extra this or that. But we are weighing all options based on our resources. Okay, we currently have enough to cater for 500 people. And then we are looking at adding stuff to what we are going to offer. And a lot of people have been showing interest. Let us just be part of. I say, everyone is welcome to be part of this. Some of you are not going to be part of this until you see what is done. Some of you are not going to be part of this until you hear from the beneficiaries who actually benefit from this. And those who are going to volunteer, who are also going to gain experience in what we can call the public or outdoor engagement on behalf of the Yoruba Union. There's so much coming. But I think we'll do better we'll do better with our actions than our words, okay? So with what we have something coming, and hopefully it can get better and better and better. By the 20th of this month, we would have kind of have an idea. What is it that is going into a big bag that goes into every beneficiary, the family, the aged, as we plan to do? Princess told me that they are already devising their own means. They don't want us to share the success of this whole thing with anyone. You remember I said something about us getting to work with NGOs who are already established, when they came up with a superior argument. And the argument is that, listen, if you give anything to the NGO on behalf of the Yoruba Union will be lost in between the messages. Because at the end of the day, people who know the NGO as what they have been doing, they will just say, oh, Yoruba Union supported the NGO now is now supporting, you know what I mean? So we don't want that. We want to own everything that we put our penny into, because we are responsible for everything we do. And therefore, we are also going to be responsible for any success that come out of this. Because our plan is this, to build on the successes we are going to record. It's not perfect. It's not huge. It is so tiny. It's like a drop of water in an ocean. I understand all of this. But there's something that they say, let us all appreciate an humble beginning. Sure you get. Us that, that have the capacity of helping 500 families, this Yuletide, right? We might be doing something even greater by helping 5,000 families, or 50,000 families, or 500,000 families. These are great targets that could reach and be far-reaching. We need to start somewhere, because one day we'll be reaching out to 5 million families. You know, when people will come back and say, I don't know how many of you have read about Amazon, right? Or read about some of these delivery companies and the rest of them. When they begin to tell you things that they have packaged, that have passed through them to other people, to help people order and all that stuff, right? You can see the magnitude of the demographic, the number of people they reach. Now, that's something that I love. I love playing with numbers, and I actually love, I love playing with real numbers. In this case, playing with the real numbers of working and helping the people. Data that we can get to know ourselves one by one, one-on-one. You probably won't understand what the power is going to be now. But let me tell you something. A day is coming where we can be talking about how we have managed to reach over 10 million people in the course of so months or years. That record will come back one day to work in our favor, but we need to put in the work. We need to put a lot of work into all of these. So I'm going to say thank you to every one of you who have who is part of it tonight. Okay, I've got a super chatter. Meanwhile, thank you, by the way, for your generosity, Pansat. Now, Pansat, you are So you see, Pansat is obedient, and he wants his message read out as usual. So according to Pansat, yeah, Obi all the way. Labour Party, Mama, Papa, picking, get your PVC, low, blah, you know, that stuff. Good luck, Pansat, and thank you for your generosity. We all have our choices, and like I explained, you should be very, very clear and in the know of the poison you are signing up for. We know where this is going to end, or somehow, it is also good to have an idea what you are up against. Just maybe or just maybe, you can possibly save yourself from what is coming too. I mean, get to knowing what is coming. Like they say, when you know better, you do better. Okay? Information is life. If this help you in any way, or even kicking into your own subconscious mind that, okay, let's live in the moment. You might be living in the moment, but for how long would you live in the moment? I'm not trying to take away your hope, okay? I'm just saying, could you take a moment subconsciously? Yes, you've made up your mind subconsciously and think it through and see if it is actually in your favor at the end of the day. Meanwhile, thank you, Pansat. I wish I could take your calls and other calls tonight, but all the same, we must remember something. Where Nigeria pushed all of us to today has given us, many of us, some clarity. And don't let us pretend about it, okay? APC, Egbekegbe, and their minions, right? No matter who they are, no matter what comes, as they say, whatever comes may, trust me, they will pledge their loyalty to the same demagogues, okay? Same with others who are pro-Nigeria, who believe in Nigeria. They have choices that they have built their own hope on as well. I have friends here who are revolutionists, Showore boys, Showore people, Showore supporters, and the rest of them. They have their own hope built on that too. Just like the obedient and articulators and the rest of them. But there's something you must be very clear about. If it's all about Nigeria, you are only contributing to something the people before you who felt like they could probably change their destiny, as those criminals in the past were trying to take them to where they don't know. They did their best. Many of them ended up being part of the system. Others died to become so powerless, voiceless, to even what? To defend what they once defended, or promoted. At the end of the day, having to have an idea of what you are up against helps a lot. Everybody is building hope everywhere right now. And I'm not trying to take yours away. It seems Pansat wants more messages explained. It will just be you and I. I wish the line is open, and you're not going to be doing this through the super chat, okay? Like you call in, we have a chat, and you know what I mean. I love that. I enjoy that. They are called, contrary views in a diverse, a diverse views platform where everybody is free to speak their mind without any fear of, fear or favor or something like that, okay? But again, Maiyegun, let's try one more time. If Nigeria disappoints us, then we go for Odua and Biafra republics. I beg, let's try one more time. Baba, you already chose something that says that you could try one more time. Listen, whatever you choose. I have come here most of the time to say, I respect people's choices, but I also want people to know that your choices have consequences. If your wish come to pass, let's say you are ignoring all the obvious, you are ignoring the whole system, and Obi comes around, in the long run, where do you think the whole where do you think the whole system is going to sort of get the adaptability from, where they can then say, okay, yeah, let's actually run this whole place the way it should be. You know why they won't, and you know why Obi won't be the president. Now, if he becomes the president with the system, he will eventually, which he has shown, he will defend the system, maybe do his own thing. At the end of the day, it is a time wasted. 4 years is not a joke in anybody's life. Again, you've made your choice, and I believe that you should have an idea of what the consequences of that choice will be. Same thing for the APC, same thing for the people destroying people, and same thing for you, the obedient. One more time, they say. Remember, one more time they said as well in 2015. Just one more time. One more time, there will never be anybody worse than Jonathan. Then Bukwari came. Now, in the picture, as you can see, the system and what they support, and why they support the mediocrity that keeps you or keeps all of us divided, poor, and terrorized, is simply because the system prefers us poorer. You know it, I know it. Now, one way or the other, you want to give it a last shot. Now, if Obi doesn't become the president, you're going to be angry, Abi, right? So what is your plan B? We are going to stand up against them. Now, when you stand up against them, it simply means that you are standing up against something you know will be rigged against you. But you went along with it anyway by validating it. Participating is validation. Okay? Like I said, we are all responsible for our actions. I am not going to participate, and I'm not going to encourage anybody to participate. But that's all I could do. I can't make you do what you will do eventually. Now, let's say you make that choice. You participate, Baba. Pansat, you participate. And they do what they have to do. The system does what it does best. Rig and do all of that they have to do. And Obi is not on the ballot. I mean, it's not even closer to even challenging them. Now, you're going to stand up and say, oh, it's been rigged. Oh, it's a terrible system. Or you are just going to have to wait for another 4 years. Not that we have any choice, so sure you get with Obi or without Obi or anything, right? It seems that a lot of the people who have no idea are also scared of what it's going to be like to live outside this Nigeria that has traumatized us so much. We've never tried anything like this before. None of us have tried anything that is beyond what we're born into this. So trying something new is so scary, Abi, that we'd rather just risk another 4 years, 8 years, 12 years, 16 years. We'll keep making them like one more time, and one more time again. Pansat, I just thought that it's not worth it. Sure, you get me now. It's not. But I'll read your message again. Pansat. Now, Maiyegun is not only Obi, it will be all of us, including Showore, the youth. A lot of hopeless people in Nigeria. Obi will be endorsed by Showore. Again, I wish you all the best. Let's be sincere. If it works, where people can express themselves, where people can associate freely, freedom of this or that, where asking or demanding for a referendum is not actually a crime that could take your life or take your liberty. All of us would welcome that. But the truth is this: we can tell ourselves that it's going to be that, or it's going to be, or is it not going to be? Like you said, let's give it one more shot. Listen to me. One more shot is an endorsement of a rigged system that you can see so clearly that it's going to be rigged. It's already rigged from the word go, right? Maybe some of us, as I've said in the past, just maybe some of us, the reason why I actually like the obedient is this. I'll tell you again. A lot of you believe that this is the last chance, okay? You've done everything to challenge the system. You've shown your displeasure to how you are being led and all of that. And they've brought out serious force to crush you. And in most times, they've told you, if you are not happy with the way you are being led, go and join politics, and elect people that will respect you, Abi. So some of you believe that this is your own revolution. Political revolution against the system, okay? So some of us who are also monitoring all your activities and your faith, for those obedient who are in Nigeria and the obedient who are not in Nigeria, I am monitoring all of everybody's action, and that's why I share them all the time on Maiyegun's diary Politico, yeah? Now, for some of us who are monitoring all of this, a lot of you are saying this is the last chance. We'll give it a last shot. Now, I am asking, do you actually have any plan B? Enough to say, after participating in a system, in an election that is going to be rigged, you're going to be muzzled out. You are seeing it, but you still want to give it a shot. To me, somebody like me, that's a validation. You have validated the process by participating. Now, if the system rig you out of it, and you begin to complain about the process again, what is your plan B? Maybe, just maybe, like you said, your last shot, if they try anything. Maybe I'm the one who is underrating you, thinking, do you actually have any other plan? But guess what, Pansat? In 2 months' time, what I say here, or what I'm going to say in the future, they won't really matter. But to what or how those of you want to give it a last shot by validating the process, how you are going to react when the system fenced you out. I know that I actually want to smile or be happy that you're going to be fenced out. It is because look at the entire thing. Apart from making up the idea of we're going to do this, we're going to do that, when you look at it critically, you realize that there's no system that guarantees that same hope or expectation that many people are building on. But people are building them anyway. Oh, but the people who are going to fight back, the people who are going to do this or that, fine. But when you look at the practicability of everything people are hoping on, they don't exist. But again, I am banking on how all of you are going to handle it if they finally show you the way they have always been showing all of us. I'm waiting for how you are going to react. Or are you going to say, we should wait for another 4 years? Baba, 7 years ago, I was just a 32 years old young man. 23 years ago in 1999, guess what? I was just a 16-year-old teenager. Now, 23 years of my life, some of you, you are born 23 years ago, 24 years ago, which means you are born into this. I was born before this whole thing started. People had hope, they had expectation, they had aspiration. They believed so much and they invested in what they believed would determine what will be their future then. Guess what? Take 23 years out of my own age. I'll be 16 years. What does that tell you? I might be one of the lucky ones. One of the lucky ones who decided to take a shot at life after the life has been rigged against me and the people like me, even before I was born. So, Pansat, to me, good. So if plan B is your final result that this is our own political revolution, if there is obvious mass support for your man and they still rig him out, your revolution at that time is going to be considered as bad losers. I hope you are prepared. Because according to them, they will say, go to court. Go to your court. Just to drag it further. And before you know it, for the sake of national security, they cannot stop the person they have declared as your president, the one that they said is rigged in. But for the sake of national unity, let's wait for the next election. Baba, that would then make it Olong Obao, 28 years of democracy. Baba, if you are 28 years, or you were born 28 years ago, you were born 24 years or 23 years ago, by 2028, you are going to be 28 years old or 29 years old. Baba, if all of that have been wasted and you decide to fight back, then you may not have that strength. So Pansat, like I said, the number is out there. When people know why they are fighting, sometimes it helps. If you say this is the last chance, this is the last one. If they mess up, we are going to scatter everything. Sure you get. They deserve to be given that experience. A lot of people they need that experience. But they say experience is the best teacher. For those of us who have witnessed things that have tilted Nigeria towards the edge, where they could say, it's over, everything done pafuka. Guess what? People are still allowed to hope that maybe something will change in the future. Hope is not new in Nigeria. The oppressed, the impoverished, the brow-beaten, the ones that have been bullied and killed, they are used to all of this. In a way, they are used to building hope, hoping. So Pansats, I wish everyone all the best. That's why I make this platform enough to say, come on, let's have a chat around this. Let's have a chat around that. I believe strongly in a referendum where the people will decide if they still want to be part of Nigeria or not. I believe in that. And I believe it's a process that it is all-inclusive, including those who don't want Yoruba or the Igbos to break out of Nigeria. It's a process that allows everybody to say why. Then, okay, make your choice. That process is democratic, peaceful, in a way, and transparent. I believe that. A lot of you believe in a lot of things. Solution that you feel like is the solution to Nigeria. But when you have a system that allows all of us to express this in a way, mobilize for it, then you can begin to say, well, it's for all our own good. But what you have in Nigeria today doesn't allow that. So if your effort is to break that, like others are trying to break that same system as well, whoever get the answer, whoever gets it right first, I can tell you something for free. It will not lead it will leave Nigeria not to be the same again. At the end of the day, it probably will be to the benefit of everyone. For now, status quo is what majority are promoting because some of them they are benefiting from it or hoping to benefit from it. If all of you believe that your last shot is to check it out in 2023, and if it doesn't work again, plan B is revolution. Maiyegun will be here to report all of that. And when, like I said, when the whole house comes crumbling down, I will be willing. I want the others who don't believe in Nigeria not to hate you, not to hate or try to become a little bit, unaccommodating. People need to understand something. That when people are making choices, they are making choices based on the information they have access to. If you know better, you should do better. In my own book or in my own world, if I know something is something new, then I'm not going to go back to the old ones. Do you get that now? So when this whole thing comes crashing, whether now for this or that, revolution or not, when we begin to pick up the pieces from the rumble, right? A lot of us who have the much knowledge, understanding, and in fact, the personal containers to say, listen, we knew it's going to end like this. Now that you have found out, would you please come to us or you still want to go back on that same treacherous road? Time, as they say, is the healer of all time too. Time will tell. And I believe in that, Pansat. I wish you all the best. Anything against the status quo is what Maiyegun's diary Politico will be positive to. I am always positive to every group, organization, and more who indeed have acknowledged the present danger and they have chosen a path. If your path is to say you rejected this system, then we wait for how this whole thing is going to pan out or play out. At the end of the day, if the system goes, it is to our own favor. Pansat, thank you. Once again, I'm going to call it tonight. I'm so sorry that I still couldn't take calls. Thank you. Anilo ní láti yí orílẹ̀-èdè padà. General Maiyegun, nígbà tí ó bá darapọ̀ mọ́ Obidati, yóò yí gbogbo nǹkan. Baba, you wish. Like I said, I wish you all the best. I am just like that open book. Probably will be able to tell you more of what I know, plus what you know. If all of that tells you this could change something, maybe you even know what I don't know. Guess what? Like I said, if it is going to actually shift this current rigged system to give way, I personally believe that it's going to open doors for many others to scale through. I wish you all the best. Thank you so much, everyone. If you are still here, you can still drop me. You can still like the video. You can still share it. Pansat, I'm going to say thank you. You've actually extended the conversation by like another half an hour. And in this case, I hope I have managed to convince you without confusing you that you are responsible for your choices. When you make decisions, when you make choices, you should also be bold enough to be responsible for them. If you own up this is your choice, this is your choosing, then you are responsible for the consequences of that choice. For me, I choose an independent, sovereign Yoruba nation decided by the people, for the people, for themselves, for ourselves, a process that is all-inclusive. That's what I stand for. Do you get that now? Well, for you and what you believe in, I wish you all the best. We will meet again and again, just in no distant future. Stay safe and bless up to every one of you. I'm going to see you some other time. Do not forget, you can still share this if you are just joining. Okay? All the best and good night from here.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Maiyegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Bó bá ṣe eré, àní Maiyegun máa wí.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré, wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Maiyegun diary, diary Politico.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń gba rìbá.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀ oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o àyè.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀ kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀ ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣà ìtú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà ń lérí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.